Welcome to Yoga in Our City Virtual Studio sponsored by Kineticare. I'm Kate. I'll be leading us through this practice together today. This practice is going to be a gentle detox flow which will combine elements of Vinyasa and Yin Yoga to create a harmonizing balance of energy throughout the body. This is a great practice to do in the transitional season of spring. For this yoga practice, I'm recommending you have a cleared space somewhere where you feel comfortable to move your body. Perhaps a yoga mat to mark that space would be helpful. And I will also be using blocks today. If you don't have blocks available, you can find something that is block-like in your home, or you can use something like a pillow, a cushion, or anything else that makes sense for your body. With this yoga practice and with any yoga practice that you participate in, it's important to keep in mind that yoga is your practice, which means even though I will be modeling each pose through your screen, your body never has to look like mine or anyone else's. Yoga is more about what each pose feels like inside your body versus what it looks like on the outside. If you feel discomfort, either emotionally or physically during any of the poses, which can show up as a burning, throbbing, stabbing, tingling, or numbing sensation, that's your body's way of telling you that that pose isn't working for you, to exit the pose, try it a different way, or to enter a different pose entirely. With that said, we can begin. I invite you to find a comfortable seated posture. And if seated is not comfortable, perhaps you explore elevating the hips above the feet and the knees by sitting on a prop of some sort. Crisscrossing the legs if it feels okay to do so. Elongating the spine, envisioning an invisible string coming from the top of your head, pulling you up to the sky above. Your spine is long, tall, and light. Drawing shoulders away from ears. For our grounding opening exercise today, we're going to be doing a breathing exercise. So I invite you to find a spot to focus your gaze upon, ideally something that's not moving in front of you. And gently soften the eyelids, soften the gaze. Taking a few moments to just notice what the breath is doing right here, right now, without trying to change it or manipulate it in any way. Noticing if the breath is entering through the nostrils or through the mouth. Is the breath staying high in the chest, or is it traveling deep into the belly? Beginning our alternate nostril breaths. For this, you will need your thumb and your pointer finger. With the hand facing your face, you're going to close off the right nostril with the thumb as you inhale in through the left nostril. Close the left nostril off with the pointer finger. Hold the breath in at the top for a count. And then exhale, release the thumb, release the breath out through the right nostril, putting pressure on the left nostril with the pointer finger. Breathing in through the right nostril. Closing both nostrils together. Releasing the pointer finger. Exhale the breath out through the left nostril. 4 more breaths just like that. Inhale through the left nostril. Close off both nostrils, release the right nostril, exhale out through the right. Inhale right. Close off both, release the left, exhale out through the left. Inhale left. Close off both, release the right, exhale out through the right. Inhale right. Close off both, release the left, exhale out through the left. Inhale left. Close off both, release the right, exhale out through the right. Inhale right. Close off both, release the left, exhale out through the left. Inhale left. Close off both, exhale out through the right. Inhale right. Close off both, release the left, exhale out through the left. Bringing hands down by the sides, returning to normal breaths through the nose. Both nostrils, exhale out through the nose. And we will begin our practice, our asana practice. Removing a prop if you are seated on a prop, returning to that nice long tall spine. As you inhale, the arms are going to come up overhead. Head follows the hands. Exhale, bring hands to heart center. Adding a lot of energy to these arms and hands. So imagine you're trying to touch the side walls and the ceilings with your fingertips. Exhale, hands come to heart center, linking the movement to the breath. So for the entirety of your inhale, the arms are moving up, and for the entirety of the exhale, the hands are making their way to heart center. Inhale, just the right arm comes up to the ceiling. Exhale, reach the right arm up and over the left side body. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, switch those arms out. Left hand comes up, reach the left hand up and over the right side body. Again, moving with the breath. So as you inhale, you're coming back to center, and as you exhale, you're switching the arms out and then bending over to the left. Inhale, back up to center. Switch those arms out on the exhale. Reach that left arm up and over to the right. Few more just like this, going to the pace of your own breath. Exhale, switch the arms and go over to the left. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, switch the arms over to the right. One more. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, switch those arms over to the left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, switch those arms. Take it over to the right. Inhale, come back up to center. Release that left hand back down to the mat. Hover those fingertips so they're just resting above the mat. Lots of energy coming out of the tips of those fingertips, like you're adding space between those shoulders and the neck. Inhale, lift the chin up towards the ceiling, breathing into the front of the neck. Notice how this feels in the neck. If there's any pain with this compression, come out of the pose. Exhale, right ear to right shoulder as you begin to make a slow and big neck circle. Next time your chin is down towards your chest, breathing into the back of the neck space. Active hands hovering just above the mat. Inhale, right ear to right shoulder again, taking the next circle the opposite direction. This time, giving yourself permission to pause anywhere within the neck and the shoulder space that feels good to pause and breathe into. Next time your chin is up towards the ceiling, pause there, breathing into the front of the neck space. If it feels comfortable to do so, take those hands and bring it to the back of the skull, resting the skull, the base of the skull, on the tips of your fingers. And if this doesn't feel okay with the neck compressed like this, you can bring the head back to center. If it feels okay, keep a lift in the chin. And with the tips of the fingers, gently massage the skin beneath the hair. Little circles. Imagine trying to loosen up the skin from the skull. Very gently. Little massage right at the base of the skull. Perhaps you move to the sides of the head over the ears, the crown of the head. In the front of the head. Bringing the hands back to the base of the skull. And then inhale the head back to center. Release the hands down by the sides. Hands come to knees. Inhale, shoulders up towards ears. Exhale, the shoulders back, down, and away. Doing 5 shoulder circles. Trying to isolate the shoulders so just the shoulders are moving. Arms and the torsos stay still. Taking the shoulder circles the opposite direction. Inhale the shoulders up, forward, and down. And inhale, arms out wide, your capital letter T, human tug of war. Someone's pulling you to the right and the left as far as you can possibly reach. Lots of energy coming out of those fingertips. Active hands. Exhale, both hands come out in front of you like you're pushing the screen away. Make a tight, tight fist with the hands, activating those muscles in the fingers. Inhale, open the fingers. Exhale, bring the pointer finger and thumb to touch. Pinch those fingers together. Feel what it feels like to use these finger muscles. Inhale, open. Exhale, middle finger, thumb come to touch. Squeeze them together. Inhale, open. Exhale, ring finger, thumb come to touch. Inhale, open. Exhale, pinky finger, thumb come to touch. Inhale, open. Exhale. Take wrist circles to the outside and wrist circles to the inside. Making our way into tabletop on our hands and knees. If you have sensitive knees or you're practicing on a firm surface, you might choose to cushion the surface where your knees are here with a blanket or a towel, or even rolling up the mat and placing them beneath the knees here. Gazing down in between the hands, back, spine is flat, just like a tabletop. Inhale, send the right leg out behind you, flexing the foot in line with the head, noticing the stretch behind the backside of the leg through the Achilles and the calf, possibly the hamstring. Point the foot, flex the foot, point the foot, flex the foot, point the foot, flex the foot, point, flex, ankle circles. Take the ankle circle the opposite direction. And exhale, return the right knee back to the left. Readjusting your table, setting up for the left side. Inhale, send the left foot back, flexing the foot in line with the head, still gazing down in between the hands. Notice the stretch in the back side of the left leg. Point the foot, flex the foot, point the foot, flex the foot, point the foot, flex the foot, point, flex, point, flex, relax ankle circles. Ankle circles the opposite direction. Exhale, return the left knee back to the right. Readjusting your table, setting up for thread the needle. Shift the weight into that left palm. Inhale, right arm comes up towards the ceiling. Exhale, swoop that right arm under the body, reaching towards the left edge of the mat. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, right arm under. One more, inhale, right arm up. Exhale, right arm under. This time, add some weight to that right shoulder, dropping the right cheek to the mat. The left hand can stay on the mat to stabilize your posture if you need it. If you don't need it, you can explore what it feels like to inhale that left arm up towards the ceiling, or create a bind by bending the elbow, placing the hand on the low spine. Everyone shifts their weight slightly into that right hip. Relaxing the shoulders. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, left arm comes back down, adding some weight to that hand, gently pressing yourself back into table. Setting up for the opposite side, shift the weight into the right palm. Inhale, left arm comes up, the head follows the hand. Exhale, swoop that left arm under the body, reaching towards the right edge of the mat. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, left arm under. One more, inhale, left arm up. And exhale, left arm under. This time, drop the weight onto that left shoulder, left cheek to the mat. The right hand can stay where it is on the mat to stabilize the posture. If you don't need it, you can explore inhaling the right arm up towards the ceiling, or creating a bind by bending at the elbow, resting the back of the right hand on the low spine. Shift the weight ever so slightly into the left hip. Relax that left shoulder. Inhale the right arm back up. Exhale, right hand comes down, add some weight to that hand, and carefully press yourself back into table. Keeping the knees and hips where they are, moving into puppy pose or heart-melting pose, slide those hands forward until the forehead comes down to the mat. If the forehead doesn't reach the mat, you can rest it on a prop, or you can bring the hands beneath the forehead and rest the head on the hands. For this pose, the target area is the shoulders, the chest, and the arms. Once you have those arms reaching out in front of you, relax the heart center, relax the shoulders, relax the arms. With every exhale, ask yourself, where can you soften a little bit more? And as you soften, if you notice pain arising, a reminder that that's your body's way of telling you that this pose isn't working for you. You can come out of it by sinking your hips over your heels, turning this into more of a child's pose than a puppy pose. You could add props to support your practice, or you can exit the pose entirely. Inhale, add some weight to the hands. Carefully pressing yourself back into table. Bringing the big toes to touch behind you, widening the knees so they're wider than the hips, making our way into child's pose with wide knees. Exhale, sink the hips over the heels. As you slide those arms forward again, forehead comes down to the mat. Same thing with this pose. If your forehead doesn't touch the mat, you could place a prop beneath it. If this is too much pressure on the inside of your legs and your thighs, you can bring the knees together any amount that works for you. The target area here is the inside lines of the legs and potentially the spine. Relaxing the legs, relaxing the arms. With every exhale, ask yourself where you can soften a little bit more. What are you holding on to that no longer serves you? What can you let go of today? Keeping your knees and feet where they are. Inhale, coming onto the forearms, kind of like Sphinx pose. Slide those elbows and hands forward, coming onto our belly. And as you do so, the knees and the feet will naturally move into this position where if you were to look behind you, you might see a shape that resembles a diamond or a rhombus in between the legs. This is bullfrog pose. The target area here is the inside lines of the legs, the hips, and the low spine. Noticing any sensations that you feel in those target areas, and if it feels mild to moderate, you can stay right here. If it feels too intense or painful, you can slide those hands forward any amount to reduce the extension of the spine. Or if you still don't feel mild to moderate with the lack of extension in the spine, you can slowly start to straighten your legs down towards the mat. In this pose, finding the balance between holding your feet in this position and relaxing the feet and legs in this position. Relaxing as much as you can, seeing if you can release the glutes and the belly. Exhale, release the feet to the mat. Pausing there once they touch the mat for a moment. And then very carefully using the big toes to return the legs to a central position, coming into Sphinx pose. Relax the legs, relax the belly. Notice the sensations in the low spine. If you're not feeling much of anything, you can place a prop like a block beneath the elbows, or you can enter seal pose by straightening the elbows, bringing the hands towards the edges of the mat. And if you're feeling too much, you can walk those fingertips forward to reduce the extension in the spine. Exhale, lower the torso all the way down to the mat, bringing the right cheek to touch, hands come down by the sides. Completely relax the legs, the spine, and the belly. Inhale, bend the knees, and windshield wipe the feet from left to right. Exhale, release the feet down to the mat, bring the big toes to touch. Hands come beneath the shoulders. Use those arm muscles to carefully press yourself back into plank with knees down or knees up, your choice. Hold plank for a few breaths, Pressing into the shoulder blades, tucking the tailbone under. Engage that core, embrace the shake. Exhale, send the hips up to the sky, downward facing dog. Walking out the legs in down dog, bending one knee at a time. Noticing how the backside body feels. All of these little movements on the mat are an opportunity to check in with the body. Ask it what it needs, listen when it tells you. Finding stillness in down dog, micro bend in the knees if you feel like you need it. Hips up towards the sky, heels down towards the mat. Big inhale through the nose. Big exhale out through the mouth. Inhale, look at your hands. Exhale, walk your feet to your hands, coming into ragdoll, feet hip width distance apart, rounding over the legs, generous bend in the knees, grabbing opposite elbows, allowing the head and torso to hang heavy. If it feels good to rock forward and back on the feet, you can. If it feels good to rock the torso from left to right, you can. Finding stillness in ragdoll, giving your head a little shake no, relaxing those neck muscles. And give your head a great big shake yes. Exhale, release the hands to the mat. Inhale, press down through all four corners of the feet to come to rise all the way up. And exhale, hands come to heart center. Reconnecting our movement with our breath. Inhale, arms up, look up, reach up, really try to reach the walls and the ceiling. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Two more just like that. Inhale, arms up, look up, reach up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. One more. Inhale, arms up, look up, reach up. And exhale, hands come to heart center. This time as we inhale, just the right arm is going to come up. Left hand comes to hip. Exhale, reach that right arm up and over the left side body. Noticing how this stretch feels like in the right side body. Inhale, back up to center. Switch those arms out. Left hand comes up, right hand comes to hip. Exhale, reach that left arm up and over the right side body. Opening up that hip and that torso, that rib cage. Inhale, come back up to center. Bring the right arm up to meet the left. Interlace the fingers, release that pointer tip finger. And as you exhale, you're going to reach up towards the ceiling first and then back just a little bit. Even if you're just lifting the chin to look at the ceiling, mini back bend. Exhale, forward fold, touch the toes, bend the knees a whole bunch to get there. Inhale, lift and lengthen, flat back. Hands can be on mat, shins or thighs. As you lift the chin and chest, straighten the knees, the elbows look forward. Exhale, forward fold, round over those legs, bend the knees. Inhale, press down through all four corners of the feet to come to rise all the way up. And exhale, hands come to heart center. Inhale, both arms up. Interlace the fingers, release that pointer tip finger. Exhale, take it over to the right. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, take it over to the left. Inhale, back up to center. Reach those fingertips up towards the ceiling first. And then exhale, take it back a little bit, micro back bend. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, forward fold, touch the toes, bend the knees a whole bunch to get there. Inhale, lift and lengthen, flat back. Hands can be on mat, shins or thighs. As you lift the chin and chest, look forward. Exhale, forward fold, round over those legs, bend the knees. Inhale, press down through all four corners of the feet to rise all the way up. And exhale, hands come to heart center. Coming to the top of the mat, mountain pose, feet together, arms by the side, palms facing forward. Taking a moment to reconnect with the breath. Notice what the breath is doing. We'll begin our sun salutations, pausing in each pose. Inhale, arms up, prayer pose. Lift the chin, look at the hands, tuck the tailbone under, hands, shoulders, hips, knees, ankles all in one line. Exhale, forward fold, touch the toes, bend the knees if you need to. Inhale, send the right leg back, runner's lunge. Drop the right knee and the top of the right foot to the mat. Inhale, both arms come up. Adding some space between that rib cage and the hips so we're not sinking into this lunge just yet. Using that core to stabilize this pose. Taking deep breaths here. Exhale, hands come down to frame the left foot. Curl the toes of the right foot under behind you. Send the left leg back to meet the right in plank. Knees up or knees down, your choice. Hold it for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, lower the torso all the way down to the mat. Slide those elbows forward, coming into Sphinx pose to start. Noticing how this back bend feels. Exhale, lower all the way down. Bring the hands beneath the shoulders, curl the toes under, press back into plank, and then into downward facing dog. Big inhale through the nose. Big exhale out through the mouth. Inhale, right foot comes forward in between both hands, runner's lunge. Drop the left knee and the top of the left foot to the mat. Inhale, both arms come up. Low lunge. Adding some space between that rib cage and the hips. Not sinking into this lunge, engaging the core. Exhale, hands come down to frame the right foot. Curl the toes of the left foot under behind you and use that left big toe to press off the mat, bringing the left foot to meet the right forward fold. Rounding over the legs, bending the knees. Inhale, root down through all four corners of the feet to rise up to stand. Hands come to prayer, gazing up at the hands. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold, touch the toes, bend the knees. Inhale, send the left foot back. Drop the left knee, top of the left foot to the mat. Inhale, arms up, low lunge. Exhale, hands come down to frame the right foot. Curl the toes of the left foot under behind you. Send the right leg back to meet the left in plank. Knees up or knees down, your choice. Hold plank for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, lower all the way down. Inhale, upward facing dog, cobra or sphinx, your choice for a back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips come up to the sky, heels down towards the mat. Big inhale through the nose. Big exhale out through the mouth. Inhale, left foot comes forward in between both hands. Drop the right knee and the top of the right foot to the mat. Inhale, both arms come up, low lunge. Engaging that core. Exhale, hands come down to frame the left foot, curl the toes of the right foot under behind you. Use that right big toe to exhale, press off, bringing the right foot to meet the left forward fold, rounding over the legs, bending the knees. Inhale, root down through all four corners of the feet to rise all the way up to stand. And exhale, hands come to heart center. Adding some more on to our sun salutation. Pausing in each pose. Listening to your body if you feel pain coming out of it. Inhale, arms up, prayer pose. Lift the chin, look at the hands. Exhale, forward fold, round over the legs, bend the knees. Inhale, step the right foot back, drop the right knee and the top of the right foot to the mat. Inhale, both arms up, low lunge. Exhale, cactus arms, bend those elbows, squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the chin, look at the ceiling. Inhale, arms back up to center. Exhale, right elbow comes to right knee, twisting open to the left. Adding some space in between that torso and that left thigh, using the elbows as leverage. Inhale, arms back up to center. Exhale, both hands come down to frame the left foot, sink the hips over the right heel, straighten the left leg, half splits. We're going to pulsate back and forth here between low lunge on your inhale and half split on your exhale. This would be a spot where if you had blocks available, you could use them if you needed. It's especially helpful to release some of the pressure on the hamstring and half split. On your next exhale, pausing in half split. Left toes pointed up towards the ceiling, feeling the stretch behind the left leg. You can add a micro bend in the knee if you need to. Inhale, walk those hands forward, pausing in low lunge. Now is your opportunity to just drop those hips towards the mat. Moving into dragon pose, completely relaxing that back leg. If you're not feeling much of anything in this pose and you'd like to explore going a little bit deeper, shift the weight into the right palm, bend that right knee, reach that left arm behind you for the top of the right foot, adding a little twist in your dragon. And if you are in this twist, you might notice that left knee wants to move to the left edge of the mat. That's okay, let it. It will allow you to sink a little bit deeper into the lunge. Target area here is the top of the right thigh. Exhale, release the right foot. Bring the left hand back down to frame the left foot. Curl the toes of the right foot under behind you. Straighten that right knee. And exhale, bring the left foot to meet the right in plank. High plank. Knees up or knees down. Hold it for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, lower all the way down. Inhale, upward facing dog, cobra or sphinx, your choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big inhale through the nose. Big exhale out through the mouth. Inhale, right foot comes forward in between hands. Drop the left knee, the top of the left foot to the mat. Inhale, both arms up, low lunge. Add some space between the hip and rib cage. Exhale, hands come down to frame the foot. Curl the toes of the left foot under behind you. Use that left big toe to press off. Bring the left foot to meet the right, forward fold, rounding over those legs, bending the knees. Inhale, root down through the feet to rise all the way up to stand. And exhale, hands come to heart center. Inhale, both arms up, prayer pose, looking at the hands. Exhale, forward fold, round over those legs, bend the knees. Inhale, send the left foot back. Drop the left knee and the top of the left foot to the mat. Inhale, both arms up, low lunge. Exhale, cactus arms, bend those elbows, lift the chin, squeeze the shoulder blades. Inhale, arms back up to center. Exhale, left elbow comes to right knee, twisting open to the right. Adding some space between that torso and the right thigh. Noticing where the breath is going. Inhale, arms back up to center. Exhale, hands come down to frame the right foot. Sink the hips over the left heel, half split. Straightening the right leg. Moving back and forth between low lunge and half split here as you inhale. Coming forward into low lunge as you exhale. Walking the hands back, straightening the right foot, right knee. Doing 5 of these to the pace of your own breath. And your next exhale, pausing in half splits. Maintaining a lift in the chin and chest, flat back. Right leg is forward and straight, right toes pointing up towards the ceiling. Noticing how the back side of this right foot feels, right leg feels. If you need to add a micro bend in the knee, you can. Inhale, walk those hands forward, low lunge. Now is your opportunity to turn this into dragon. Relax that left leg, relax the hips. Allow the hips to sink towards the mat. So you can stay right here. Or if you're not feeling much of anything in this pose, inhale, bend that left knee. Toes pointed up towards the ceiling. Shift the weight into the left palm. Bring that right arm behind you, reaching for the top of that left foot. And then sink the hips towards the mat. If that right knee moves over towards the right edge of the mat, it's okay. Exhale, release that left foot. Bring the right hand back to meet the left, framing the right foot. Curl the toes of the left foot under behind you. Straighten the left knee. Send the right foot back to meet the left and plank. Knees up or knees down, your choice. Hold plank for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, lower all the way down. Inhale, upward facing dog, cobra or sphinx, your choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big inhale through the nose. Big exhale out through the mouth. Inhale, step that left foot forward in between both hands. Drop the right knee, top of the right foot to the mat. Inhale, both arms up, low lunge. Space between that rib cage and those hips. Exhale, hands come down to frame the left foot. Curl the toes of the right foot under behind you. Press off that right big toe. Right foot comes to meet the left. Forward fold, round over those legs. Inhale, root down through the feet to rise all the way up to stand. And exhale, hands come to heart center. Honoring your standing practice, making our way down onto the mat. Coming into a seated posture. To start, we're going to do dragonfly or wide leg forward fold. Widening your legs so they're wider than your hips. If you are struggling to maintain an upright position in this pose, like you feel you're being pulled backwards, or you have to engage your core or your thighs just to maintain an upright position, I invite you to explore what it feels like to sit on a prop. But know when you sit on a prop, you are creating a space between where your knees are and where the mat is, and if you have hyperextending knees or sensitive knees, this could add too much pressure on the knees. So make a mental note of how the knees feel when you elevate the hips above the feet. If it feels okay, you might choose to use this as your version of dragonfly today. Or if that doesn't feel okay, you can bring your hands behind you and use them as a kickstand. So you can relax the legs, relax the core. You don't have to engage to maintain an upright position. If you are doing this, hopefully you are feeling a mild to moderate stretch in the inside lines of the legs. If you can sit upright without any discomfort, or you can do it with ease, walk your fingertips forward any amount until you begin to feel a mild to moderate stress in the inside lines of the legs. Moving very slowly and gently into these poses, even though we just did a little bit of a flow, when we are doing deeper holds, we're stressing the deeper connective tissue of the body, and that's not always the most flexible right away. You have to take your time when you enter a pose, bringing your awareness to the target area, making sure you're staying within that mild to moderate threshold. If you go out of it and you feel pain, you're actually harming the body and you're not receiving the benefits of the practice physically or energetically. One of two things might happen when we're holding a pose for an extended period of time. You might notice that mild to moderate zone disappear, in which case that's an invitation for you to go a little bit deeper. Or the opposite might happen. You might have been in a mild to moderate position and then you notice you're entering something that resembles pain or discomfort, in which case it's your body's way of telling you that you've reached your threshold there today to come out of it a little bit. Search for a new edge, your new mild to moderate zone, or you can exit the pose entirely. Wherever you are in your dragonfly, completely relax the legs. Add some weight to your hands. If you are in a forward fold, slowly start to walk the hands. Bring the torso to an upright position. If your hands are behind you, you can keep them right there. If you have a prop in front of you, remove the prop. Take the hands to the back sides of the legs and use the hands to bring the legs back to center. After we hold a pose for an extended period of time, it's normal for that target area to feel weak or vulnerable, so notice if that's true for you and know that it's okay. Once the legs feel as though they're regaining their normal sensation, it might feel good to add some movement to the legs. Maybe moving the feet from left to right. Then we're going to make our way onto our back. Lying flat on the back to start, noticing how the body feels, how the spine feels. Moving into a supported bridge pose. Taking a prop of some sort, doesn't have to be a block. If you have a block, that's what I'll be using, but if you have a cushion or a pillow, that will work. Even if you roll up a towel, just a little bit of elevation will make a difference here. Placing your feet on the mat, knees pointed up towards the ceiling. As you inhale, lift the hips up off the mat and carefully place a block or a prop beneath the sacrum, beneath the low spine. Even just a little bit is going to give you the benefits of this pose. So the block or whatever prop you have doesn't have to be at its highest length unless you want it to be. You control your experience. And then once you have the block or the prop placed safely, slowly start to straighten the legs. The target area here is the front line of the body. If you feel as though the low spine has already reached its threshold for compression today, and you would like to explore a different sensation, you could move the prop up to in between your shoulder blades instead. That is always an option if the low spine has had enough. And if you feel comfortable here, I invite you to explore hugging the right knee into the chest. Keeping that left leg on the mat. Knowing that that elevation beneath the low spine might make it difficult to actually get that knee to the chest, and that's okay. Just moving the knee in that direction should give you a deeper sensation in the front line of the left leg and the left hip. Exhale, release the right leg. Inhale, bring in the left leg. Exhale, release the left leg. Inhale, bring the feet back to the mat, knees pointed up towards the ceiling. Lift the hips off of the prop. Carefully remove the prop out of the way, and then slowly lower the hips to the mat. And once the hips get to the mat, inhale, hug both knees into the chest. Give yourself a great big hug. Maybe rock side to side. Finding stillness here, bringing your feet, flexing the feet, bringing them towards the ceiling like you're going to walk on the ceiling, keeping the knees bent. Take the hands, grab the insides of both feet, coming into happy baby. If you can't grab the insides of your feet, this is a great pose to do one leg at a time. Or if that still doesn't work for you, you can use a prop like a yoga strap or a belt or a rope tie and place it around the foot and hold on to the foot. Hold on to the strap with the hands. If you have both feet in your hands, perhaps you're exploring rocking side to side or straightening one leg at a time. Finding stillness and happy baby, exploring what it feels like to relax the legs and pull on the feet with the arms. And then explore what it feels like to relax the arms and kick into the hands with the feet, noticing how these subtle movements change the feeling of the pose. Exhale, bring the feet back to center, hugging the knees into the chest. And then slowly release the legs to the mat. to the low spine, the hips, the inner lines of the legs. Taking a full body stretch as you inhale, arms come up overhead, legs are out straight in front of you. You're as long and tall as you can possibly get on your mat. Taking up all the space. Exhale, roll into fetal position on the right side, stacking the left hip on top of right, left shoulder on top of right, left hand on top of right. Inhale, reach that left arm across the sky over to the mat behind you. If that left hand does not come to the mat comfortably, you can rest it on a prop. You can let it hang out in space if it feels good, or you can bring the hand to the hip and drop the elbow to the mat. Once you have your upper body positioned, you can play with the lower body positioning, maybe straightening one leg or the other, crossing one leg over the other, straightening both legs. There's an infinite number of variations for simple spinal twist. Find a version that suits you, listen to your body, and once you have that version, completely surrender to the mat, relaxing every muscle. With every exhale, asking yourself, where can you soften? What can you let go of? What no longer serves you? Inhale, bring that left arm back across the sky over to meet the right, pausing in fetal position. Bringing your awareness to your spine, and when the spine feels as though it's regained normal sensation, rolling onto the back. Taking another full body stretch by inhaling, the arms up overhead, legs out straight in front of you. And then on the exhale, rolling into fetal position on the left, stacking the right hip on top of left, right shoulder on top of left, right hand on top of left. Inhale that right arm across the sky over to the mat behind you. Same thing on this side. If that arm doesn't come to the mat, you can allow it to rest in space if it feels good. If it doesn't feel good, you can rest it on a prop, or you can bring the hand to the hip and drop the elbow to the mat. Gazing over those right fingertips are going to intensify the twist. Once you have the upper body positioned, you can play with the lower body, straightening one leg or both, crossing one over the other. Doesn't need to be the same as the other side. Once you have your version of the upper body and the lower body position, completely surrender every muscle to the mat. Asking yourself again, where can you soften? Where can you let go? What can you release? Inhale, bring that right arm back across the sky over to meet the left. Pausing in fetal position. Bringing the awareness to the spine. The spine feels as though it's regaining normal sensation. Coming onto the back one last time, taking a full body stretch or any other poses that you feel you need in your practice today. Listening intuitively to your body. If you're in a full body stretch, getting as long and tall as you possibly can. And when you are ready, entering into Savasana by bringing the arms down by the sides or resting them somewhere on the body. Closing the eyes if it's comfortable to do so. Completely relax every muscle in the body, starting with the feet and the legs, giving them permission to rest heavy. Relaxing the belly, relaxing the shoulders, the arms, and the hands, allowing them to rest heavy. Relaxing the neck and the head and all of the muscles on the face, including the tongue, the jaw, the eyes, and the eyebrows. Feeling completely supported by the earth beneath you as you receive the benefits from this practice today. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Filling the belly, the rib cage, and the chest with breath. Noticing any sensations that enter the body with the breath. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Gently rock the head from left to right like you're shaking your head no, but slowly. When you're ready, rolling into fetal position on the right side, keeping the eyes closed. Pausing in fetal position. From fetal position, gently pressing yourself back into a comfortable seated posture. With the eyes closed, bringing hands to heart center. Taking a moment to check in with your physical body. Checking in with your emotional state. Checking in with your mental space, your thoughts. Bowing the chin towards the hands, honoring your practice as I honor yours. May your practice be of benefit to you and to all of those around you. Thank you very much for sharing your practice with me. Namaste.